The Motor City is getting ready to shine for the draft, but for people who've never been here before, some who may have had a more negative view about Detroit, could this be the moment, the actual moment decades-old perceptions about the city finally change? So I took that question to the streets. I talked with longtime Detroiters, a historian, a blight buster, a community activist, and we also hear from Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan to get their take on this. The massive stage, the bright lights, the big banners, Detroit is set for a sea of NFL fans to flow into downtown. A lot of folks who don't live here kind of have a negative perception of Detroit. Do you think that's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair, because if I go to Chicago, it's bad. So you go in the wrong spot, you're in the wrong spot.
As Mayor Mike Duggan mentioned in his State of the City address last Wednesday, Detroit made headlines in years past for murders, shootings, carjackings, abandoned buildings, fires, bankruptcies, and more. But he was proud to tout a significant drop in crime, continued blight enforcement, more neighborhood improvements, park upgrades, and historic development. His hope for visitors?
They take the day and walk the Riverwalk, which, as you know, USA Today has called 3 years in a row the finest Riverwalk in America. But we're going to encourage people who like music to go to the Motown Museum, people who like Mexican food to go into Southwest Detroit, Greek food into Greektown, and we're going to encourage our visitors to get out and explore.
Community activist Helen Moore agrees. What do you hope visitors will take away from their visit to Detroit?
Walk around, check Detroit out, and you will find even the people that have the least money, etc., are good people.
The 86-year-old was surprised at the end of the State of the City address to learn the Dexter Elmhurst Community Center she helped save will be called the Helen Moore Community Center. She understands more work is needed. Do you think Detroit is safe?
Oh, God, that's a problem. But I have to compare it to the past, and I say we're getting there, but we're not there yet.
What do you see the city doing differently this time around compared to the Super Bowl planning that you think could really score big with visitors' perceptions of the city?
The involvement of community organizations, the involvement of businesses, legacy businesses in the city of Detroit, the involvement of African-American business owners, that is going to make all the difference.
City historian Jamon Jordan says iconic spots like Hot Sam's Clothing Store and Cafe de Mongo Speakeasy will be among the local standouts to impress out-of-towners. Improvements are happening right here.
No question.
John George, executive director and co-founder of Detroit Blight Busters, showed me where a $21 million redevelopment is underway in Northwest Detroit. He thinks perceptions are changing. People say, hey, where are you from? And you say Detroit. What's the typical reaction you get?
Well, it's getting better. Before it was like shock and horror. I believe Detroit is on the front porch of the greatest urban comeback story in this nation's history, but we have to work together.
The front porch of the greatest comeback in American history. Wouldn't that be something? Now, the most recent Gallup poll taken in July of last year asked people how safe they consider 16 of the country's biggest cities, and that poll showed Detroit ranked at the bottom of those 16. Only 26% of respondents considered the city safe to live in or visit, whether they had visited here or not. Now, that's the same percentage it was back in 2006, the year of the Super Bowl. And as we know, so much has changed since then, including a significant drop in crime. But the city's not worried about prior perceptions. Oh no, we are putting our best foot forward and hoping to dazzle everybody coming to the D.
Yeah, you can't worry about the past because you can't change the past. The only thing you can do is change the present and change the future, and that's what the city's trying to do.
That's right.